What's going on, guys? It's Frito here for your Overwatch. The mid-season patch is now live, including the Mauga Nerfs along with a few others. Mauga's health gets rearranged again, where the base armor goes down to 200 in exchange for more base health. The ammo on his cannons goes from 350 down to 300. Cardiac Overdrive's lifesteal goes down from 70% to 60, and the cooldown increases from 10 seconds to 12. Cage Fight no longer grants infinite ammo, but it still reloads Mauga's chain guns. Berserker, his passive, overhealth conversion rate has been decreased from 60 to 50%. Okay, so nerfs across the board on every aspect of Mauga's kit. Alec Dawson on Twitter said that this would probably be more than is required, mainly because an earlier hotfix that they wanted to ease in the nerfs before the holiday break didn't go through due to technical issues. The patch wasn't working, so they couldn't launch it in time. I'm willing to bet that this subject will be in a blog post coming soon because it's so complicated and core to the main game. I think when they add a hero like Mauga, whose counters are so sharp, it's dangerous to make him a reliable hero. And I actually think he was more healthy in the more severe version that had like less sustain, less reliability, but a bigger upside. I'm not so happy that they're just straight up nerfing everything about him without giving any of that old upside back. More interesting would be the world when we keep adding heroes and then there's a ban system of some type. So we don't need the game to be perfectly balanced to expect a wide array of heroes getting played at every tier of play, especially not the highest one. No tank hero in the history of the game has rewarded aim as much as Mauga. Or if you think about it, the skill ceiling of perfectly tracking on Mauga is higher than the aim skill of any other tank. The closest would be like Roadhog, but the variance between the skill of players wouldn't even be as high. Orisa gets some pretty nasty buffs. Her fusion driver no longer has damage fall-off penalty. How do they keep changing this? I don't know how I feel about this one. Now, Orisa is a long-range threat similar to Mauga and Ramatra. Back when she had longer range on her fusion driver, it really allowed for some long-range spear combos as well. Look out for that to come back. Then on top of it, Fortify gets an interaction buff where she's immune from taking force critical hit damage, which counts for Mauga's volatile chain gun damage while she's burning. Since Orisa already can block his damage with her spinny spear, while she can't stun him or CC him in his charge, she now can rack up a lot of damage on him from range and is another tanking option that can face tank against his dual cannons. Roadhog gets a significant take a breather nerf. The total amount healed has reduced from 500 to 450. Remember, that's for the entire cast, so that means the heal per second is going down as well, and the cooldown between uses goes from 1 second to 1.5. That adds a significant amount of downtime to Roadhog's kit because he used to be able to pop the breather a bit, sneak in a hook and a shot, then breathe again. Well, now there's just a straight up delay between one of those actions, probably needing to wait for your gun to reset to shoot again, making a bigger gap of vulnerability on Roadhog. Sojourn gets a buff where her gradual energy decay no longer decreases below 25%. So once you get it to 25, it stays there. That'll help her in a lot of duels where she only needs a partial charge headshot in combination with some of her primary fire in order to secure a kill. I think we should expect this to mean the reliability of the rail to come up when you need it is going to go up, which I'm not so sure how I feel about that. If they were trying to help the lower skill brackets with this hero, I think there was better ways to do it, because a change like this will just increase the effectiveness of those who are already good with Sojourn. Sombra gets a change that probably would be a bug fix, but they're doing us a solid and putting it as a hero change. It says Sombra's hack has a server update rate while channeling is increased to improved responsiveness. Basically meaning hack will work more as intended. Stealth gets some changes. The grace period where stealth can be canceled immediately after entering it has increased from half a second to 3/4 of a second. And the cooldown now pauses at 1 second while capturing or contesting objectives from 1.5 seconds. The cooldown on respawning has been decreased from 1.5 to 1 second. Gotta be real, no idea why any of these are a benefit to anyone. I hope they explain these at some point. This next one is a big one. Ana's biotic grenade effect duration has reduced from 3.5 to 3 seconds. There are times when a target is antied and it's starting to get away and just gets around the corner, but still getting pursued, can't get healed, and therefore won't be saved. That half a second does matter. And those isolated examples where an elimination is actually found, that's the biggest impact. But above that, if you think about how many anti-nades an Ana throws in the entire game, the percentage of time the enemy is antied goes down now, Ana's impact overall goes down, but at the same time, they nerfed the sustainability of characters like Mauga and Roadhog, so I wonder, at least in that small sub-pocket of characters, if it's sort of a wash. Because when you and your counter go down in power, sometimes it's hard to tell if anything really changes. Illari Solar Rifle's getting some buffs. The primary fire charge gain is no longer paused by secondary fire, nor by channeling Captive Sun, and the ammo goes up from 14 shots to 16. So those are two different ways to keep the uptime of her offense going. These two buffs increase the available uptime of her attack. Captive Sun, which is her ultimate, now fully refills her secondary fire resource and resets overheated status, and removes the damage falloff penalty on the Sunstruck explosion. I felt like Illari was just super difficult to justify using after a long series of nerfs. Many of them were justified, but I think a problem the dev team is having is that they keep giving these characters multiple strong suits and then shaving all of them down at once. And it's just hard to have a justifiable identity for that pick unless you just are a GM player that can hit scan your way to victory. I think they're leaning towards doing the same thing with Mauga as they have with Sojourn before them. Lifeweaver gets a couple buffs. Thorn Volley's projectile speed has increased from 70 to 80 meters per second, which is pretty significant and will certainly increase its effective range, that's for sure. And kind of an odd interaction, Pedal Platform no longer can be pierced by piercing projectiles. So I'm pretty sure that includes Reinhardt's Fire Strike. That one seems obvious, but also I'm pretty sure that will mean Ramatra's punches and pummel. But other things that pierce are like melee style attacks like Ryan's hammer or Winston's cannon. Playing as those tanks, I'm not really a fan of that. Like, why can they pierce other shields but not that? Which is like some BioLite shield type thing anyway. Whatever. That's it for the patch notes, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave it a like, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to actually get notified when our videos come out. That's been it for me. I've been Frito for your Overwatch. I'll see you guys next time.